The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Mr. Wike, has urged Nigerians to reject the new opposition coalition, alleging that the political party, the African Democratic Congress, is seeking to destabilize the country. The former governor of Rivers State mocked the political coalition, stressing that they are aggrieved and have nothing to offer the country. He described them as mafias who move around political parties without a clue of what they want or can offer to the nation. Wike recalled that on assumption of office, President Bola Tinubu's administration met a decaying system, assuring that the government is working tirelessly to restore the system. Wike's allegation is coming as the interim National Publicity Secretary of the ADC, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, stated that the fear of intimidation by the administration of President Bola Tinubu prevented state governors from joining the coalition. Joining us to discuss Wike's plea to Nigerians to disregard the coalition is Liborous Oshoma, a lawyer. Good morning, Liborous, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And happy birthday in arrears.
Thank you.
Very thoughtful of you to have made special arrangements for implications after this program.
You know, implication here is now a constitutional requirement.
Yes.
It's an unwritten constitution.
Yes, an unwritten constitution.
It's an unwritten constitution.
Thank you.
The matter on the table. Nyesom Wike is saying, you know, that the coalition should be disregarded. These are not serious people. More or less. And the spokesperson of the ADC saying, look, people are being intimidated and they are not being allowed to express themselves freely. What do you think?
You know, growing up, they used to tell us when you see no thoroughfare, that means there's a road there. And in the same vein, it means that truly the coalition that the ruling party had once dismissed is actually taking roots, because there are certain persons I don't take their statement, seriously, because I've heard them speak from both sides of the mouth before, and so now when they talk, I just look at the office they occupy, and I'm like, hey, is this office that actually talking, not the person? If Wike were maybe in opposition, he probably would have been a member of the coalition today. I remember the same Wike as a governor in Rivers State, and how he told us that PDP was malaria and APC was cancer. And today he's part of the cancer. And so that's why I don't take statements from people like that seriously. But seriously speaking, it means that the opposition coalition is actually taking a firm footing, and those in government are jittery. And if they are not jittery, then Wike won't be bothered about asking Nigerians not to take them seriously. Because if they tell you don't take somebody seriously, it means that people are actually considering taking that person seriously. What Wike should be bothered about is there were campaign promises made. They should be bothered about how to deliver on those promises made and how to make life of the average Nigerian more bearable and more affordable. And the opposition also should consistently put them on their toes and put pressure to ensure that Nigerians truly take them seriously. It is not what Wike will say or what rhetoric. It's no longer a matter of rhetoric, because Nigerians really want to look at the difference. What are the alternatives? And this alternative is not just enough to say we want to send Bola Tinubu back to Lagos. Just like it happened during Goodluck Jonathan's time, anything but Jonathan. People are wiser now. People are also asking questions. And so this is an opportunity for Wike to now ride on those questions that people are asking, to say, yes, we want alternative, but let us have plans and program. And then now that you're in government, you have the opportunity, you still have close to 2 years to actually right the wrongs, so that people can say, okay, yes, when they started their first 2 years was they fumbled and wobbled, but now we can actually talk about them. It's not enough for you to just sit down and tell people, no, don't take them seriously. They are destabilizing. Because you are also destabilizing. Just before the program, we were talking about the issue of renaming of streets and bus stops in Lagos. These are also destabilizing tendencies that shouldn't even be encouraged.
Okay. So this statement was made at the University of Port Harcourt's 35th combined convocation with the 50th anniversary. And also present there was the sole administrator of River State, Ibok Ete Ebas. You know, this is coming some weeks now after there was some excitement around chatter, murmurings. I don't want to call them rumors. It was more than rumors about the return of Governor Sim Fubara. What do you make of the optics that were on display at that occasion?
Yeah, you know, first and foremost, let me look at it from Wike and the politicians averagely. Everywhere they go, they play politics. Everywhere they are. There's only a politician in Nigeria that will be invited to a church service after homily and then Thanksgiving. You give him a microphone to thank God, he'll be preaching politics and condemning and insulting people. For the River State administration, over time, I had consistently maintained that both sides were wrong. I was on this same platform where I said Section 109 is not self-executory and that Fubara should be careful and the way he was going. And then you now saw the drums of war from the other side. And today, people, no matter what our misgivings are, some people are saying peace had returned to Rivers. And so we want to see at the end of the day that not just peace returning, we also want to see that governance, because that's what will benefit the people. River State, Port Harcourt used to be the garden city in Nigeria, but today you want to talk about militancy, you're talking about insecurity, you know, terrorism and pipeline vandalism. These are names you call in these areas. So people want to see governance return. People will not just be talking about building bridges. We'll be talking about infrastructure. We'll be talking about human capital development. We'll be talking about processing. Here we hear agriculture, farming. But farming without processing, adding value, is poverty. And so that's, for me, it's the optics I would look at, not just whether Wike is talking about opposition, coalition. And then what is the state of this same university today compared to the way it was those days? I was at Babcock yesterday for graduation, and when I saw the crowd and the way Nigerians have embraced private institutions, yeah, you can say because of our population, but at the same time, a lot of people are running away from our public institutions because of, you know, the challenges of infrastructures and the rest. What is our blueprint on education? What's our blueprint on health? What's our blueprint on infrastructural development apart from building roads? You know, so these are what we should be discussing now. I've consistently been an advocate of, let us unbundle Nigeria for effective governance. You're talking about fiscal vandalism. I would rather want to see a fiscal federalism, because without that, all of these issues of whether you borrow today, borrow tomorrow, people are still going to use it to buy cars first before they would talk about infrastructures.
So on the flip side, as Mr. Wike is the center of this issue, some people have said, oh, he has done tremendous work. You can see his 21-day spree of doing roads and development and everything. Some people have also said, look at allegations reported in some quarters against him, many things also against him. The fact that he goes out there, he tries to talk down on other people, talk down on political parties. The episode with Peter Obi recently, where he also supported the governor for saying, you know, and they said it was just advisory and everything. And where he also talked about the fact that he allowed Peter Obi, told him to, before he came to campaign in the state. A lot of people are saying, should one man, as a serving minister, be in the center of all of this? Is it that there are not other people out there that want to campaign for president Tinubu, but why is he in the center of all of this? Some have even said, why is he the only one in the center of all of this? Also owing to what happened in Rivers State with the aberration of a constitutional state of emergency. This to be the center of the action.
You see, we have elevated politics so high above governance that now anybody that, you know, wants to play politics, you don't need to, you know, be meaningful. Just hold the mic and people will listen. You know, so if you look at, first, let's start from road construction. It's only here that people celebrate construction of road as if we're providing employment. You build a road from my village to the town, fantastic. You say, oh, yes, you move agricultural produce from those places. But the people over there are now using that same road, not to move agri produce, but they're using it, to migrate from rural areas to the urban areas because there is nothing. Those days we have task force on communal farming. We had food processing. But today, all those things are no longer there, and then you build road, you buy SUVs to drive on those same roads, and then you are celebrating your, how many years in office? You are talking about 21 roads. Will 21 roads provide employment to your teeming population? The hospitals in FCT, as I speak to you now, I just read an article that most of the hospitals don't even have scanning machines. We're not discussing all of that. And for slight headache, we'll fly our politically exposed people abroad. That it was so bad that our former president died abroad, and somebody was asking if he was on SI to have died abroad, the president of a country. And then you have one minister who should be rather seen and not heard, conducting press interviews and insulting everybody that disagrees with him, calling names. And the president, because the president is so interested in second term, is not calling him to order. At the end of the day, if care is not taken, he might be the destructive factor of the president. Not everybody disagrees with the president, but a lot of people disagrees with the manner and approach of his minister for FCT. The accusations about land allocation, and I don't know if it is true. What I read that he's saying if his children are Nigerians also.
The Supreme Court, because the suit challenging the state of emergency, Supreme Court has not listened to it all this while. Is it going to be another case of the times past where they will now say it's already an academic issue? Why is it that the Supreme Court cannot make a quick determination on a suit sort like that that would deepen democracy so we know where we are going with this state of emergency? Can you speak to that, please?
Rufai, look, let me say this. When Festus Keyamo attended the National Assembly screening, ministerial screening, he made a proposal that we should have regional Supreme Courts. It is not every matter that should go to our Supreme Court. Somebody stole a chicken and then is convicted. He appeals from the magistrate court or from the High Court to Court of Appeal and then to the Supreme Court. And then you have a lot of cases that are warehoused. And then Supreme Court will now use that as an excuse that the docket is filled up. And so new cases that do not have time span would have to also remain on the docket. But because in this case, ordinarily, one would have expected that with the nature of the case, that all of the issues, both preliminaries and otherwise, because I know the issue of locals also is a preliminary issue to be discussed, all of this should have be taken, and the court should have given preeminence to that matter and decided one way or the other. But politics have overtaken everything. And and at the end of the day, it becomes an academic exercise.
Very briefly, before we go, Malam Bolaji Abdullahi of the ADC is saying that more people will have loved to join the ADC, but they are being intimidated. Now, already in the Senate, I think, we have up to about 72 members of the APC now. APC having been joined by more persons. Most of the governors, in terms of body language, they're saying, oh, we will support President Tinubu in 2027. Do you think that the allegation by Malam Abdullahi is true and correct, that people are being intimidated?
I think the ADC should focus on providing alternative that will attract people to them. Because I've not seen anywhere the government has put a gun. Even you can say that the agencies of government, like that of Okowa, people had said maybe the EFCC is scared of EFCC. And the question I ask is, who amongst the former governor is in jail today, apart from maybe one or two, is in jail today for allegations of corruption? So I don't think that that of Okowa is the EFCC issue, because I also don't think that most of these governors are being intimidated. Most of the National Assembly members are being intimidated. Because we also undermine the power of incumbency in Nigeria. So they are looking at, because politicians, for them, it is personal interest. It's about what is in it for me. If I join this opposition of those people that have lost out in the scheme of things, how will they be able to navigate back to power? And I can tell you that some of them have representatives in these places. So, but the fact that they are not too sure, they are not too clear. Look at the case of Peter Obi in the opposition. He went and he saw the handwriting on the wall clearly, because everything is like a gang up for and in support of Atiku. And so the man quickly had to backtrack because he knows fully well that there is no way he's going to get the presidential ticket there. So all of these other persons also will look at, where will my bread be buttered? Will it be buttered in the ADC? ADC has not truly shown, you know, apart from we want to send Tinubu to Lagos, they have not really shown plans and programs that they would treat Nigerians better. So that's why some persons are skeptical, not that people are intimidated. They should look at what they can do better and how they want to do it better. Once they begin to talk about those things, I can tell you, people will want to join them and not just say people are intimidated.
Okay, thank you very much, Liborous Oshoma. But perhaps it's early days yet.
Yes, yes, it is.
After all, in the last election, some parties did not give us a manifesto, even up to the very last minute.
Yeah, but people are learning. That's what I'm saying. People are learning from those mistakes.
Thank you.